I see
Broadway.
that you're finally wearing the glitter jacket.
Yeah, I did.
Never wore it on the show
Since it's our
before.
first show tonight.
This is
You know,
our
we're doing
first
this.
show on Village Connection Network. I'm really excited.
Way to go. Give me
You
5
know,
on that.
that's
Let's
it.
do this.
Yeah.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Heather Lee, how are you, sweetheart? We're shipping
I'm doing
shirts to
great.
Hawaii.
I had to call in because I just wanted you guys to pay extra shipping to get my shirt here.
Thank you, Heather.
Actually, I'm going to give them to your father, and he's going to ship them to you.
Oh, in that case, I'll never get it.
Brought up a really good point, Darren.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the Business Powwow with Darren and the Music Man. It sounds like somebody's in heat. That's good.
How are you, Music Man, this week?
I'm
Really interesting question.
That's a fantastic question, Norman.
wow. See, I got a fantastic.
That's
You
a
just got
fantastic-
good. I got fantastic. What kind of toy did she like? I'm kidding.
Come on, he always goes there. Were you drinking before the show?
One of the cardinal rules. Two things you never do to a woman. You never say they're old, and
But
you
I'm
never
not
say
married.
they're
I'm
heavy.
never gonna see
You
her
never
again.
ask them
What's
how much
the
money
difference?
trust me. Oh, you
That's
wait a
right.
second.
We both
you
know I won't be seeing you again.
You know Lauren for a long time.
Yes, I do. By the way, this is a Yankee station.
It's a
Thank
Yankee
you.
station. John, it's a Yankee station.
All right?
Fourth extravaganza.
Hell no.
Hi, Eileen. Eileen's on.
Hi, Eileen. Eileen Karina is on.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
hi,
watching.
Eileen.
Great question.
We have a lot of undulations out in the field. Undulations.
Is that a wine?
No,
What the hell is undulation?
Fred, don't use big words. John's not calling you chicken.
Did you just call me a chicken?
I called you a chicken. I did call you a
You
chicken.
called me a chicken.
I called you a chicken. Hey, right? So this.
Help.
I gotta get him a cough button, Jim. What do you think?
Cough
Because-
button would be a good idea. Consider that a good question that he asked?
Great question.
There you go. I got
Pythons
one.
and brains.
But our own John from Hazlitt provided the confetti for the ticker tape parade. Hey, sorry. This, yeah, I was just gonna say, this show's about him. It's not about you.
Hey, give me some loving.
How are you, Music Man?
Hello, Darren. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm
this week.
absolutely convinced. I'm absolutely convinced that
telling
you
you.
got some kind of brain damage when you had that thing last year.
I'm telling you, and he called. And
Seeing interviews by Darren and the Music Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Siafe and Norman Wasserman.
Let's do this, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. We welcome you here this evening. I hope you have had a good week so far. And Darren, say hello to our fans.
Good evening, everyone. It's great being back. What was it, 2 days?
Where were you?
2
Did you
days.
go away?
You know what? Today's been a
was Monday.
long day today.
Uh-huh.
Today was a long day. I started
Why?
out, because I do my lit tip thing in Uniondale.
Right.
So I'm out of the house before 6, and I haven't been home yet. So it's
Since Monday?
Since Monday, yeah. Since Monday. I haven't been
That
home.
is a long day.
It's a long day.
That's good.
It's a long day, but today's about happiness.
You
Tonight's
don't
show's
look
about
too
happiness.
happy today. You got a
Actually,
smile on your face. but
I'm simply happy.
very much so.
That's-
Actually, our guest is going to
Well,
make you happy.
that's why I'm
He's gonna
simply
make
happy.
hopefully all our viewers
If
very
you-
happy tonight.
Right. If you remember on Monday's show, when I was closing Monday's show, I talked about a great author coming on, and I asked you if you read the book, and you said yes. I read every page.
Twice.
Twice. So we're gonna.
And I'm still happy.
So
Constantly, I walk around and people just think I'm nuts.
well, yeah,
that's
I
too,
think that's
so.
part of it. But that's.
But he does make
But
people
nuts and happy are two different things,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's, without further ado,
Let's get real happy.
Let's get real happy. Let's welcome the author of Simple Happiness, 52
The one
ways,
and only.
52 ways to lighten up. Which you
Oh,
know
boy.
what? There you go.
Oh boy, this is
Mr.
gonna
Jim
be
Ryan.
Some show. Good evening,
Welcome, Jim. How are you
Thank you
this
very
evening?
much.
And-
It's
and
52,
welcome.
52 easy ways.
Easy ways.
You
Okay.
gotta keep it simple. and
Easy
easy.
ways. You see, you screwed up right away.
Screwed
It's
up.
easy way.
That's
Say
it.
easy.
Easy. It does say easy there,
Yes.
doesn't it? See, I was trying to go off the top of my head.
You know, we
but
got
there you
two
go.
authors in here tonight. You've written a book.
I've written a book.
You've written a
Right.
book.
And Jim's a great guy. So, Jim, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you came about to write this book.
Well, this part of my life started back in the year 2000. I've done a number of things. I used to be a teacher. I taught French and Italian, and I was a guidance
Where, out
counselor
here in Long Island?
in Bethpage.
Bethpage.
Bethpage. Yes.
That's a great school, by the way. That high school is sensational.
Yeah, they won an award for one of the top 5 schools in the state. It's
Yeah,
always
very
been
nice.
a good blue collar,
Superintendent is a
good
really
parents,
nice guy too.
good discipline. It was a wonderful place to work. And in the summers, I managed a tennis club out in East Hampton. So I got a chance to work, in a simple blue collar work, and then rub shoulders with all these millionaires from New York. And when I went out there every summer, I decided, let me try something else. So after 7 years of managing this tennis club in the summer, I used my connections there, and I went into business. I was a financial advisor for over 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah, and
You had a good network of people to get started with.
well, they're top-end people for sure. But I've always been interested in personal development. I've always read a lot, gone to seminars, listened to tapes. And back in the year 2000, I just realized I had all of this stuff in my head from the reading and so on. I said, what's the point of having it in my head? So I said, I got to get it out of my head. So I spoke to some friends, and I was directed to the jail out in Yaphank. And for the last 19 years, every Monday, I go there and I teach a class in personal development.
You still do this?
I still do it. It's my mission. I teach a class in personal development to men. I started with the men. Now they've got me teaching a class of women who are locked up for multiple DWI convictions.
And the men,
Really?
what are they locked up for?
Same thing.
Same thing?
They have a special
Well,
program.
Yaphank is like the minimum security, right?
They have they've got yes, it's not a but they've got felons and rapists and guilty of assault and all
jolly.
that stuff. Then it's not a park. It's not a summer camp. They're locked up. They got guards, and they walk through the metal detectors, and I have to be escorted from the foyer into the facility. So it's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah.
They're pretty serious.
So yeah, it's not just a walk in the park, so to speak.
But the guys that I teach are not that. They're not felons. I mean, some of them have committed vehicular homicide, some sad stuff. But I put together this 10-week course, made it up as I went along. I go from week 1 to week 10, come back to week 1, go to week 10. The men, the women, they come and go. And
How long are they in for?
well,
on
that
a minimum?
varies. That's an interesting question. Some of them are there for 4 weeks, and some of them are for a year. I've had vehicular homicide people for a whole year, and then they go to another upstate facility for more hard time. So they try to rehabilitate them in this.
Wouldn't it be the other way around? Wouldn't you do your hard time first and then lighten it up?
Well, I think part of it is they're going through the sentencing phase and all that other stuff, and once they get sentenced to more than a year, then they go upstate. If they're a year or less, they stay on the
You
island.
seem to know
right?
a lot about this.
You got friends. I got friends who went to college.
It's amazing. Sometimes I'll see people that I know. I've had kids that I had. I coached basketball also. I'll have a kid who was on my basketball team.
Really?
He shows up in the.
So how is that interaction? Is that
I was scared at first, but I have this ability to remember names. So when I first went there was 25 guys. The guys range from 15 to 25.
Right.
The women's population is a little smaller, but I know everybody's name. And when they come into the room, I say hi. Hi Darren. Hi. And
Forgot my name.
I forgot your hi. See,
So we got.
he's a forgettable. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, people never remember his name.
Hi, Erwin. But I remember their names, and that just softens them up.
Yeah.
My father said there's no sound so sweet as the sound of your own name. So if someone remembers who you are, it's a compliment. So that just softens them up. And it's like a game. And I'll go around the room, and I'll dot, 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 dot. And sometimes I'll draw a blank. And I'll say, come on, Jim, come on.
Right.
So they challenge me all the time. But it softens them up, and they're ready to listen.
So
So
that's
what
a
do you-
great icebreaker. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What kind of questions? How do you start off with these people? What do you do?
I have this 10-week program, and guys are coming in. Some in week 3 and week 4. I just teach the class. I introduce myself to the new guys. The 18 regular guys are there. They all know me. There may be 3 or 4 new guys. I introduce myself, and we just go. We talk about, what is personal development. How can we, what areas of our life can we grow in? We do goal setting. We do a lot of nuts and bolts stuff that makes sense to these guys because they want to have a better life. They want to get clean and go back to society and be productive.
The first thing they got to do is stop drinking.
Well, that's
so
it.
You got to go through that.
Yeah. Most of them are in AA eventually, or they may be drug addicts, stuff like that. So they're always, after they get out of me, they have a year of drug testing, random testing. They can't drive for a year. They've got some follow-up stuff that's pretty serious also.
Is there an AA within the prison? AA?
Not that I know of. But a lot of the stuff I talk about is very consistent with AA. They always come up and ask me, "Are you a friend of Bill?" Which is an indication of, Bill was
Bill W.
He was a fellow that started AA, and they'll ask me, "Are you a friend of Bill?" No, I'm not. But it's interesting how, his program and my program are to help people grow as people and be happy and productive.
It's the same. That program, I worked at a drug and alcohol rehab back in the early 90s. And, that was a big part of it. But, you and I have had discussions. What you do and the program that you're doing, it's the same type of thing. So the foundation of what you're trying to do and help people and
very consistent.
It's very consistent throughout.
And
people think it's this big secret thing, and it's really not.
Yeah. And
So
they like the program. That's the bottom line. They shake my hand after every class. They say thank you. It just fills me up to go there.
Right.
3 years into that, I said, these guys like. I wasn't teaching the women at that point. I said to myself, these guys like it. Maybe people on the outside would like it. So I came up with a talk from some of the units that I teach, and I wrote to libraries on Long Island. I started giving talks in libraries about how to be happy. People came, and then one talk led to another and another. And then I wrote the book, Simple Happiness, 52 Easy Ways to Lighten Up. I wrote the book, number one, to separate myself. I fashioned myself a motivational speaker. So I wrote the book, number one, to separate myself from other speakers who didn't have a book. And also, I give a talk. That's what I do. I give talks on how to be happy. And people get all excited about the possibilities, but then they go back to their daily life, and human nature being what it is, we kind of cool off little by little. But having the book is there as a template.
What's neat about this book, because I read it, what's neat about this book is pretty much you got 52 ways, right, that are in here, plus, because you got other stuff in here.
Sure.
But everything's maybe 2-3 pages long at tops. You quickly get through it, and it makes sense, and it's not like a whole bunch of stuff that you got to study and memorize, and it's common sense stuff that when you read it, you go, like, aha.
My
goal
moment. Is, I tell people, you read it, each chapter gives you an idea about how to be happy. So you read it, and you'll say, gee, I'm going to try that. And that's the goal, is to give you something simple and say, put it into your life for a while and try to see if it helps.
So how often do you go around and do these talks? Are you always available to do this? Is this something that people can reach out to you and say, hey, Jim, why don't you come and talk to my group? Or why don't you come and
before you answer that question, before the show is over, we're going to ask you if you have any places that you're going to be. Right? And then we're going to try to get people to come. But now go back and
like many businesses, it ebbs and flows. I'll do like I just did this big nonprofit SCO Family of Services. They have thousands of people who work with the underserved, people with mental problems, homeless problems, addiction problems, runaways, all kinds of things that they service. So they have staff days, and I've done a number of these staff development days for these nonprofits. They broke it up in 2 because there were so many people, and it was at the Inn in New Hyde Park, and I gave a talk on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and it was the response is.
Now, when you're engaged, are you talking about this book? Are you talking about some of the other stuff that you've written?
I have a couple of signature talks, and the book is a good follow-up, but I don't talk about the book. I mean, sometimes I'll say, there's a chapter in my book called Appreciate. I'll refer to the book from time to time, but I have 2 signature talks. One is 8 characteristics of happy people. What are happy people like? And it's really about life, and we have quotes from famous people that back up my stories. And the other talk is managing thought, and that's a little more in your face and people walk away excited about the possibilities.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to engage you, wanted to call you up and say, "Hey Jim, I want you to come down," how are they going to get in touch with you?
Well, they can call me on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and my phone number is very interesting. My phone number is 1-866-JIM-RYAN. For somebody from the phone company, when I called up to get a toll-free number, they said, "Why don't you use your name?"
Right.
So you can call me up, 866-JIM-RYAN. My website, you could go to my website, and it's jimryantalks.com. It's like any business. You know, I love it when people call me, and that happens. That just happened the other day. I gave a talk to this women's organization called PEO, Philanthropic Educational Organization. It's these professional women who get together to National Association, and they raise money and they give scholarships to young women and so on. And I spoke to the woman, "How did you get a hold of me?" Because I forget. You know, This was booked months ago. And she said, "No, I was in a car driving from an event, and I just brought it up." And I said, "We're having this event. Anybody know a speaker?" "Oh, Jim Ryan. Oh, Jim Ryan. You got to have Jim Ryan." So that's how it goes.
That's awesome that you can do that.
So we're going to take a break now.
When we come back,
yeah,
we're going to start. I'm going to dive into some of these chapters, and actually, you're going to like one of these chapters. You're going to love the title of one of these chapters in here. Because I know the rant that you're going to go on.
At a 52, I'm going to like one?
Well, no, you're going to like more than one, but there's one one
so
specific
save it
one.
as a surprise when we come
I'm going to
back.
save it as a surprise, but when we come back, we're going to dive into the book a little bit more. We're going to dive into exactly how you got it published and that process you went. Because 15 years ago, publishing a book was a little more difficult than publishing a book today.
Yes.
So we'll be right back right after these messages.
Hi, this is Doug Cormack, Executive Director of Orchard Estate of Woodbury, Woodbury's first assisted living and memory care community. We're opening this summer for seniors who need a little or a lot of assistance with things like taking their medication, meals, or just a maintenance-free lifestyle. Our experienced staff keeps seniors and their families connected to what matters most. Call us today to inquire about our model apartments and discover how Orchard Estate of Woodbury is providing the lifestyle Long Island seniors deserve. Call 516-246-2167. That's 516-246-2167, or visit orchardestatewoodbury.com. Licensure pending.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friend Entertainment USA. My name is Norman Wasserman. I am also known as the Music Man. Let me just tell you a little bit about Friend Entertainment. We put on concerts for charities, and we do that everywhere from New York to Las Vegas. We do R&B, Motown, rock and roll, jazz, whatever it is that you wish. Friend Entertainment will deliver the best of the best for you and your charity. Here are some of the names of the talent that have performed with us on our stage. Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, The Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, the one and only ELO, Elton John himself, Kool and the Gang, and the fabulous Donna Summer. Go to our website, friendentusa.com. That's www.friendentusa.com, or feel free to call us at 631-698-9696. 631-698-9696, and we'll see you at the next show.
Small business owners, are you having trouble growing your business? Do you feel like you're always swimming upstream? Do you feel like daily tension that I can't get ahead and I don't know why? Hi everybody, my name is Darren Sayafi and I'm a business therapist. What's a business therapist? Well, some people call us coaches, some people call us advisors, other people even call us strategists. We take a vested interest in you and your personal development as a person and as a business owner to give you the tools and structure that you need to take it to that next level. So don't wait. Give me a call today for your free consultation and let me show you how you can help yourself.
And welcome back to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the music friend.
Music what?
Man.
I'm telling you, he was Jim. He had to be
It's
drinking
late.
tonight, Jim.
It's late.
I think that's what it
Drinks
is.
were
But
good.
things were good.
The drinks were good.
Eileen's on. Hi, Eileen. I see
Eileen.
Joelle.
Eileen, you're always on.
Joelle's a girl I went to college with.
Wow.
So yeah, she's watching. Hey, Joelle, how are you?
Hey, Joelle. Are you the Joelle that he keeps talking
No,
about?
yeah, you go.
this
You're
it?
starting. Yeah, you're starting again. You're starting
Gotta
to
be
try
hard.
to stir things up.
I'm just talking the truth.
No, Joelle's
The
a good
way
person.
it is.
She's really
Joelle,
good person.
if you're the one that he talks about, the number is 631-415-1365, and tell us what Darren was like in college.
Oh, that'd be great.
Give us a
Oh,
heads
come
up.
on. I was a sweetheart.
Right? Because now he's
like
got
now.
this.
You
he's
didn't hang
got
out
this-
with Mr. Kavanaugh, did you?
He's got this 32-acre estate.
My
that,
32 acre.
You may be entitled to part of it.
That's my lead. Okay, so thank you. My 32 acre, well, my circular driveway, right? and
Right, he's
everything
got
else.
horses,
That's
he's
what he
got
tells.
everything.
That's what he tells
Maseratis.
everybody, right?
Why not?
So, we do here talking to Jim Ryan about his book, Simple Happiness. And speaking of my 32 acre estate, and this is the chapter I was talking about.
Okay.
And Jim,
About
you
me.
can
Well, I'm
elaborate
gonna
on
like
what
it.
the chapter is about. I think you know where I'm going, right?
He has no
So
clue.
No idea.
Okay, the chapter 7, you live in a mansion.
You do.
Right? So I don't live
It's
in a
not, it's not for me, it's for you.
Listen, it's
You
only
see,
got
you're substituting
only got
personality.
It's only
Not
got
really.
13 bedrooms.
What does that mean?
It's a parable, and the parable is we've all I say we've all been to a big home, a mansion at some point, whether it's a house tour, a Christmas tour, or Newport, Rhode Island, and I talk about how the experience of walking into a mansion, the doors are impressive, the foyer is beautiful,
Opulent.
There you go. Yeah, like
Like my house.
like Darren's house. Yeah. Opulent. And then we talk about going through the different rooms, and then I switch it to your life. Many of us, you go through the whole place, and then you go out and have a cup of coffee with your friend or a cocktail, and you talk about your experience. And people will, like one room better than another. And then we go back and do it again, and then the foyer is your life.
Right.
And sometimes, did you ever peek into the library to see what's there? And many people just live their life in the foyer of the mansion, never peeking into the other rooms.
They don't
to
use
see,
what's available to
to
them.
see what exists out there. They stay in their comfort zone, and that's the parable. And sometimes
Interesting point.
your bliss is not the first room you walk into, but if you don't walk into that room, like you'll never get to the room that.
So if you don't walk into the foyer, you're not going to get to the dining room.
If you don't go into the dining room, you'll never get into that kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's if you never go to that adult ed class to take that painting class, you'll never realize the talent that you have that's uncovered.
But you got to want to go into the painting
You got to
class,
have
right?
some nerve. That's it.
Sometimes, though, you kind of pushed into it, right? You stumble across it, you don't even realize it, but you get dragged there by somebody else, and you go, oh my God, I know how to do this.
But
But we come across that, if I can interrupt
Sure.
for a second, a lot from people that are on the show. They're very, very nervous about coming on the show. They don't realize that this is like sitting in a living room.
Right.
And we're just having a conversation. It's really that simple.
Right.
I got a phone call today from someone who's coming on in a couple of weeks, and she's asking me about what to wear, what colors to do, and how is she going to get prepped. She wants to meet for coffee, whatever. And I told her, not necessary, just show up.
See, many people won't even come, and that's the people
Yes.
that stay in that foyer.
Correct.
Once they're here, all of a sudden, a whole new area of their life could open up.
We've never had, actually once, we've never had somebody complain about being on the show.
In 3 years,
Okay.
one time, because we gave them too much time to talk about actually what it got really heavy. The
Right.
topic that they picked was very, very heavy.
And it was more of a misunderstanding, not realizing what we were doing and what the show was about, than anything else. Everybody that comes on, once they get in, like you said, once they get through the foyer, they realize it's a completely different place than they thought it was.
Yes, and there's so much to life. If people would just, take a
Take a
look
chance.
take a look at different parts of the place.
Mhm.
You may find something that really excites you, and all of a sudden, your life gets better.
Happens a lot with people with careers.
Absolutely.
They have one career and that's all they know, 15, 20 years. They're
Exactly.
in one thing. And now that business or that industry is not around anymore. What am I going to do? You got to take a chance and do something else. And if you don't like it, go on to something else.
That's it. That's it. You know, I always say, what do people regret when they get older? Do they regret what they did or what they didn't do? And so often the people shake their head, yeah, what we didn't do. I wonder what would have happened if I had stepped into that dining room. And you know, who knows?
I think we all look at our lives and go, well, you know what? If I would have done this instead of doing that,
sure,
how would my life be different?
You'll never know,
right? I think we all do those things. But like you said, you'll never know.
I would teach my kids 3-letter word: try. It doesn't matter. You can fail. You don't have to like it. It doesn't matter what happens. But if you don't do it, you'll say, "What if?"
Well, that's it. In so many cases, you know, you guys are out here doing this, you know, and you're an example to your kids to get out there and do it. I'm an example to my kids to go out there and do it. You know, kids don't learn from what their parents tell them. They learn from what their parents do.
Example.
Yeah.
And that's the thing it's get out, do, show people that it can be done.
Yeah.
I get people all the time. You know, we talked about this before. How don't look. You didn't read the book. You're not looking. I got one. The next one's going to be for you.
That's what you said about the other one.
I got a few
really
here.
The book is for me.
Yeah.
That's
you get people who are just very nervous talking to people. Like he said, coming on this show, talking in front of people. I always tell people when they say, "Oh, I don't like to be a public speaker," I go, "Well, you're not a public speaker. You're getting up and you're having a conversation
with us.
You just happen to be the center of attention when you're having a conversation, and it's with multiple people." So if you look at it like that, you can become a much better public speaker. That you're just having a conversation with people.
When I first wrote the book, I sent it to different places, and one of the editors was on the West Coast, and she gave back a little synopsis, and she said, it's like we're sitting in a room, like in a living room, having a cup of tea, talking about life.
Right.
And I've never written a book. Who knew I could write? But that's how it came out, and it was such a blessing that it's conversational, it's friendly.
And that's the beauty of this book.
Did anybody help you write the book?
Yes. I was on vacation with my wife, and I said I wanted to write a book. So I said, go shopping. I'm going to sit on the patio, and I took a yellow pen and I wrote down chapter headings.
Okay, for those viewers who don't know what a yellow pad is, all right, Jim, where's that?
It's a legal pad.
It's a legal pad like this, but it's yellow
got
and
lines on it.
Yes,
it's not the name of a new computer.
And you have to use a pen or a pencil to use it.
You got to write?
You got to write, yes.
What's writing?
Exactly. Sorry, Jim.
Do you know what writing is?
I don't.
Oh, God. So anyway, I came up with 52 ideas, and every morning I would wake up early, make myself some coffee, and I would write for 45 minutes.
Okay.
And it just expound on the essay, on the title. And at the time, I had a woman working for me who would then take the text from the yellow page and put it into the computer. And she observed that. She said, "Jim, the chapters start off really good, but then they kind of like fold at the end. They kind of fizzle out." And it was because I wanted to finish the chapter.
Right.
But then I took that to heart, and I made a strong
Did
start.
you fire her?
No, I said thank you very much. It was a great. She was the first person to read the stuff, and she was the first editor, and so I was consciously to try to finish it the way I started it. So that was great feedback.
So that was, when you get feedback like that, that's the beauty part. When you're writing a book, sometimes you're like, does this make sense? It makes perfect sense to me, but when somebody else reads it,
yes.
And that's when you get your clarity as to what you're writing, because they go, I'm not sure what you mean by this. Or
you think it's perfect, because it's coming from your head.
Exactly.
And I'm impulsive, so I had like 52 pages on typed out. I was going to go down to the copy store and make like a PTA cookbook,
right?
Where they have the thing and they put a plastic cover and a little binding. And then I met a woman along the way, and she read it, and she said, "No, Jim, this is too good to throw it out like that." So
that made you feel good.
Well, we ended up. She was like the copy editor. We would sit at a coffee shop and read the stuff, and she would make changes or suggest changes. And I was a little, taken aback. I was, it was a personal affront. But as we did it, it got better and better and better. And I owe a lot to her. And then, it really helped when you get another opinion about, how does it sound?
So that leads me into the next chapter that I want to talk about,
Mhm.
which my friend here should read.
Yes.
I love him to death, but it's don't make assumptions.
Oh.
Right? Because that's what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
I'm teasing you. You know I'm teasing you. But that's what you're talking. You made assumptions about your writing, and when you sat there and said, hey, wait a second, let me take some constructive criticism. So talk about that.
Well, that chapter comes from a book by Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, which is a classic personal development book. Very simple, easy to read. Everybody should read The Four Agreements. And one of the agreements is don't make assumptions. And we get so caught up in our perspective, and we see what we think is true and evidence, and we just run with it in our mind, and so often we're making up the story that is not true, but we're from our own experience we're taking an observation and running with it, and sometimes it goes in the wrong direction. We go down a negative path, and we think of all this negative stuff from past experience, and it just brings us to the wrong path.
It's like they say, don't assume.
That's right. It makes an ass of you and me. So true.
And unfortunately, in our society today,
remember that.
I remember that. I saw The Odd Couple.
We are definitely that.
But I mean, in our society today, that's one of our biggest problems. Is everybody's just assuming things with no facts behind them,
None.
and they're just running with it.
Yeah. I mean, we judge people by how they look, how they talk, how they walk, what they're wearing, and it's so wrong. So often there's so much more there than meets the eye. You see people and you make a quick judgment.
Right.
We do this now. You and I, we belong to certain organizations, networking groups. You do the same thing too. You walk into a room and you walk over to somebody, or you don't walk over to somebody because you don't like the color tie that he's wearing, or she looks a particular way, and you're prejudging what this person's going to be all about. Now, it should never be that way for anybody on anything, in anything that we do in life. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I've been quite surprised sometimes, by meeting certain people that I thought, and they've become some of my best friends, like him.
Yeah.
I would never normally walk over to
I
him.
invite him over to the mansion all the time. He
Oh,
rides
right.
my horses.
I
Yeah,
like
he
him.
does all
Great horses.
Polishes your Lamborghini.
Right,
I drive a Lamborghini.
He
He's fun
drives
to
it. Yeah.
drive.
Well, the Lamb we have.
He's got these big wheel tires on.
I raced the horses. He drives the Lamborghini. We race.
That's it.
That's
And we then go into the winery that you have in the
the
back.
winery. If anybody wants to call and ask some questions about the simple
Yeah, come on, down that phone.
Give us a call, 631-415-1365. That's 631-415-1365. I see a couple other people have joined us. Steve Harper joined us. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Steve, how you doing?
John, my cousin John's on. Hey, John, how are you?
Well,
bro?
that's somebody that should be calling in.
Well, he's not a happy guy.
Exactly.
I mean, this is.
should be.
Well, this will be perfect for him because it's
It's
simple.
Christmas gift.
It's simple.
Actually,
I think you know what I'm going to do.
People we should buy Christmas gifts for.
Instead of giving him the ball, I think I'll give him this book.
It's a great
So we
gift.
had
We don't understand that story, but we'll explain it to you.
Explain real quick, Jim. We had a sports memorabilia guy on. The kid Alonzo that won the Rookie of the Year with the Mets.
Yeah, what a
So
hitter.
my cousin John's a big Met fan. He bought a ball from the guy with the Alonzo signature on it. The guy gave me the ball. I am now in possession of the ball. The ball has quadrupled in value, so he hasn't paid me the difference in order to get his ball.
So he's what you call ballless.
He's ballless. Wow.
He is ballless.
Wow. Yeah, if that doesn't get the phone ringing.
No, it's true. He doesn't have the ball, so he's ballless.
So anyway, so getting back to you and your book.
I'm good at this.
We digress.
Yes, I see that.
But we have fun. We get the point across.
At least I don't blush. That's one good thing,
So, you talked about this book being a simple, easy way, and it's not a quick fix.
No.
Right? Too many people, and we see this all the time in what we do, they want that quick fix. They want to be able to come, get some knowledge, and then go away and their life is going to be different. And you say, no, this isn't a quick fix. Why do you say that?
Because it all comes down to our thoughts and our habits. We're creatures of habit. We've developed our way of looking at the world. We've developed a perspective from we're born of parents, and we've been influenced by them. We've gone to school. We've had teachers. We've had coaches. We've had friends, ministers. We've had experiences, and we've developed what I call our thought systems. This is my way of looking at the world, and people think that's who they are. That's who I am. That's how I've always done it, and they need a new idea, and they need to try a new idea, and don't just say, that doesn't work. So the book, that's what the book does. It'll try to give you a new idea that you could incorporate into your life and maybe change one of those habits. Our life is like an ocean liner. It's not like a jet ski where it takes time to turn that sucker, but we can do it.
But with persistence, you can get it done. Right?
Absolutely. So one of the chapters, it's a long life. It's not going to happen like that. It takes time. It takes work. That's the work. We've gotten to who we are through years of living, and you just can't flip that around in a day.
Well, that leads into the chapter, Start When You Wake Up. Right? So let's talk about that whole process, because to change your thought process, to change your habits, it's got to be a daily thing that you're consciously doing until it becomes unconscious.
Gratitude is the place to start. I ask people, when you wake up and throw your legs over the side of the bed and stand up, what's your thought? And I say,
my back hurts.
But it could be, thank God I can get out of bed by myself.
There you go.
And some people just take that and say, Jim, thank you. I say that every day. And then I say, what's your thought as you go down to the bathroom? And I said, don't tell me. I said, it could be, thank God I've got indoor plumbing. So start to focus on your abundance, the gratitude of the simple things in your life. And that everybody can do that. Everybody can be grateful for getting out of bed. And I say a lot of people can't get out of bed by themselves, and they wish they could. This simple, mundane activity of bringing that to mind, it gets you started. That's how you get started.
Just that analogy of getting out of bed. And if you just think about it and you use that as being grateful,
Absolutely.
And all the different things in your life. And I know somebody that every time they get up, all right, there's always a complaint. But like you said, what happens if you don't get up, or if you're in the hospital and you need help to get up?
And I think part of our society has trained us to focus on the negative and not the positive.
Right.
I always say energy flows where attention goes. If I'm paying attention to my aches and pains, I'm going to suffer. But that's why, thank God I can get out of bed by myself. That's an energy raiser. You feel good all of a sudden. Then you go down to the bathroom. Thank God I got indoor plumbing. Wow. We had Superstorm Sandy 7 years ago. I live on the North Shore. We didn't get flooded out, but we were inconvenienced. We had no power for a week. No hot water. So when that hot water hits me in the morning, I say, thank God for the hot water. See, it's all these little habits.
But see, during Sandy, I said, thank God for my generator.
Whatever.
Because with my generator, I still had hot water. My refrigerator worked.
Yes.
I was still able to use most
all
of my household
these things
items
that we take for granted. And I say, how do you feel when you're taking something for granted? And people are, what? I never heard anybody say, yeah, I'm taking that for granted. But if you focus on your abundance, your gratitude, then then after the shower, I put on a terry robe. I'm grateful for the terry robe to keep me warm. Thinking gratitude. I walk down to my closet, take out some clothes to make me look good. Maybe not that good, but I'm grateful for what I've got. And that mindset just leads you to happiness. And it's simple.
It's those negative thoughts are constantly dragging you down, right? Studies
that's
show
the only thing anybody talks about.
But studies
negative
show.
sells.
Yeah.
Right.
Being positive and being happy does not sell. Look at the world.
I know.
Look at TV. The way things going, negative sells.
So, Jim, if people want to get a hold of you, right? They want to get this book.
Yes.
Now, they don't want to assume that this is the number. What's the number for them to call you?
What's the number for them to get a hold of you?
Well, my office number is very easy. It's 631-754-7636. Or you can get the book on Amazon.
You have your 800 number, 866?
I have my 800 number. It's 866
Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan. A lot of people don't like to go look for the letters to find the number, but
easy way is go right on Amazon. Look for Simple Happiness, 52 Easy Ways to Lighten Up.
How inexpensive is this book?
This book retails for $12.95.
That's it?
Okay. That's it. $12.95.
To be happy. Be on your way to be happy.
This book is such a blessing. The comments that I get are just absolutely humbling. It changes people's lives. You know, and I get letters from people, and they say that. You know, my husband has been miserable. Now I got him the book, and he reads it on the train. He says, like, the wife says, I can't believe the change in him just, you know, reading it on the train.
Well, because, you know, and what we're going to talk about when we come back are those aha moments. You got a whole section on aha moments. So, aha. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Small business owners, are you having trouble growing your business? Do you feel like you're always swimming upstream? Do you feel like daily tension that I can't get ahead and I don't know why? Hi everybody, my name is Darren Sayafi and I'm a business therapist. What's a business therapist? Well, some people call us coaches, some people call us advisors, other people even call us strategists. We take a vested interest in you and your personal development as a person and as a business owner to give you the tools and structure that you need to take it to that next level. So don't wait. Give me a call today for your free consultation and let me show you how you can help yourself.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friend Entertainment USA. My name is Norman Wasserman. I am also known as the Music Man. Let me just tell you a little bit about Friend Entertainment. We put on concerts for charities, and we do that everywhere from New York to Las Vegas. We do R&B, Motown, rock and roll, jazz, whatever it is that you wish. Friend Entertainment will deliver the best of the best for you and your charity. Here are some of the names of the talent that have performed with us on our stage. Stevie Wonder, Tina Turner, The Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, the one and only ELO, Elton John himself, Kool and the Gang, and the fabulous Donna Summer. Go to our website, friendentusa.com. That's www.friendentusa.com, or feel free to call us at 631-698-9696. 631-698-9696, and we'll see you at the next show.
Hi, this is Doug Cormack, Executive Director of Orchard Estate of Woodbury, Woodbury's first assisted living and memory care community. We're opening this summer for seniors who need a little or a lot of assistance with things like taking their medication, meals, or just a maintenance-free lifestyle. Our experienced staff keeps seniors and their families connected to what matters most. Call us today to inquire about our model apartments and discover how Orchard Estate of Woodbury is providing the lifestyle Long Island seniors deserve. Call 516-246-2167. That's 516-246-2167, or visit orchardestatewoodbury.com. Licensure pending.
Welcome back to the Business Powwow with Darren and the Music Man and our happy fella, Mr. Simply Happiness,
Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan. He's here too?
Yeah, he's here too. Oh. You know, I was going to say before the break, these things are great stocking stuffers, you know, and giveaways for the holidays. So if you're looking for a very affordable giveaway, that's really going to make a difference in people's lives. And you know what, I during the break, I told you I started reading some of Mike Cacavalli. Mike, I hope I said your name right. Talks about his family was going through rough times. He read your book and it made a huge difference in his life.
Do you know who he is? Do you
so,
know the gentleman?
Yes.
So he wants to thank you
Mike.
for that. You know, and of course.
Why don't you call in?
Yeah, Mike, give us a call, 631-415-1365. Tell us about your experience and how this book really made a difference for you. You know, before the break, we started talking about the aha moments. Mm-hmm. When you sit there and you go, aha, it really makes a difference here. So let's talk about it. You got a few of them in the back of the book, but let's talk about some of the aha moments that you.
What are some of them the ones that are really hot?
Early on, I got some good advice from people, and they said, when you give a talk, get email addresses. So I give out a response sheet, and they can give me, it's optional, but I've got over 5,000 people on my email list, and every Wednesday, I keep in touch with them by sending out what I call an aha moment. Just a little uplifting thought, something positive to help them get through the week. And you know, it's been a real blessing, too. I keep in touch with people. They're free, doesn't cost anything. You can go to my website, jimryantalks.com, businesspaladder.com, and there's a little place for an email address right on the front page, and you'll hear from me every Wednesday. And people copy them and paste them up in the office. They'll forward them to their friends.
Give us some samples.
One of the aha moments was just a recent one was well, pick one out from the back of the book.
All right, so you talk about if someone gave you $1,000.
All
right.
See, this is we have a currency of our thoughts. Our thoughts make the thoughts that we hang on to become our life. People think that they think their thoughts are their life, but thoughts are just thoughts. So I try to tell people, look, if somebody gave you $1,000 and said you got to spend it today, would you buy something that you didn't want? No, I would buy something I want. I said, well, then why, in the currency of your thoughts, are you thinking about things that are disempowering, that you don't want? See, that's what we do it to ourselves.
Well, I think that goes back to our whole society just wants us to focus on the negative. People don't want to see other. It's to me, it's an amazing thing. People don't want to see other people succeed.
Absolutely,
they would rather them fail as well as themselves fail. So this way, hey, I don't look as bad because he's failing too. Not instead of we all succeed together and we all look good together.
One of my somebody from a talk recently came up and said, I'm going to stop watching the soap operas. And the person said, I realize I watch them so that my life doesn't seem so sad.
Yeah.
I see how bad they have it. I don't feel so bad. But she said, no, I'm going to stop watching them because I've made up my mind. I'm going to move ahead.
Well, and again, the soap operas are all about tragedy. And negativeness. And, we were just
even when they get married or have a child, there's a negative problem. There's something going on.
Always. I mean, in today's day and age, with all, with the way that we can watch TV and stuff, we just recently found a show called Revenge. When you do these binge watching things on, when you're doing this Revenge ran from like 2010 to 2013 or 14 or whatever it was. It was a good show, but it was negative. It was all about
revenge.
It was all about who can get over on this one and that one, and it was always negative. But after a while, you get into season 3 and 4, and you're like, okay, this is a little enough.
My job, as I see it, is to open people's eyes to the possibilities of living a better life. Give them a different perspective. And this book does just that. It gives you a different perspective on a lot of things.
I have clients that I work with that as soon as something doesn't go exactly how they want, it's right away. It's it's like the worst day. And
it's your fault. It's not my fault that I didn't sell.
I actually have clients call up and just start venting. And you know what I say? Are you done? Is it really good? Well, let me know when you're finished, and then we can really talk about what the problem is. Because people like they love the drama.
People will say to me, we do a concert or something. The tickets aren't selling like you said they would. Well, let's go over the things that I told you to do. Have you done this? Not yet. Oh, how about this? No. Do I have to do that? You don't have to. You just won't sell any tickets.
People don't want to take responsibility for the things that don't go right in their life.
And that's the thing. They don't want to take responsibility. See, that's the problem. We've been trained to only take responsibility for the negative stuff. The positive stuff that happens that we have, we're going to let anything good that happens, it's somebody else that made it happen for us. Anything bad that happened, it's me.
God forbid you should win the lottery.
Oh, right?
God forbid. You talk about all your friends.
So let me ask you this question, my friend. What will your legacy be?
I don't have a clue. I don't know.
That's one of the questions I ask at the jail. And I said, what do you want people to say about you at the end of your life?
Well, I could say the common thing. I want people to say, I was a good guy. I was this. I was that. I can't speak for anybody. I can speak for myself. I can look in the mirror. I know who I am. I know I'm a clown. I know I'm not a clown. I know everything about me. I am what I am. That's it. But what other people would say, hopefully they would say some nice things.
Well, we do this exercise in the jail. Again, I got this from Richard Carlson's book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff. What do you want people to say about you at your wake? It could be a morbid thing, but no, it's a positive thing. And we go around the room, and sometimes, some people are very superficial. Some won't even participate. But sometimes people say, I want them to say he was a good father. And then I stop and say, you know what that means? If your kids could say you were a good father, wow. and just kind of like get them to think about these serious things. Because
Right.
if we have an image of how we want to be remembered, that helps us move in that direction. It gives us a
It really
template.
does. It gives
Yeah.
us to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be as uptight. I'm not going to be as mean. I'm not going to be, years for years. We all go through it. I think at some point where you finally wake up and say, why am I doing this? And I had that. I went through a bad divorce. I had all kinds of things going on. And I woke up one day and said, why am I'm destroying myself.
Yeah.
In this tough time,
Yeah.
and I kind of changed the way I look at things.
A lot of people can't do that. They just run with that negativity.
But you know what? What's amazing to me? I changed it, and people just don't believe it.
Yes.
And that's the thing is, you sit there and go, well, wait a second. I'm doing all of these. It's that old thing. It's not what you say; it's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing all the things I'm saying I'm going to do, but people still don't believe I'm doing them. So it's. You sit there but I know I'm doing
Right.
it. And
that's exactly the
thing.
point I'm
And that-
saying. I know who I am.
Right. Oh,
I
no,
know what
and
I'm about.
And I get what you're coming from, and I agree with it that's part of the problem. We worry sometimes too much about what other people are thinking,
Right.
and we really shouldn't. And to be happy, that's one thing we got to let go.
Be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what you got to
Wayne
do.
Dyer says you have to have a healthy disregard for the good opinion of others. You really have to follow your own path. And happiness is different for everybody. What makes me happy doesn't make you guys.
Absolutely.
We got to find our own way and be
Right.
confident and be bulletproof. And that's not easy because we succumb to that pressure of, what
Before
the world
Jim
tells
talks
us.
about where he's going to be and where he's going to speak, give us another aha. Is there another
Okay,
one
we're
that
gonna
you
we're
want-
gonna give you one more aha, all right? Because time is really running down tonight. It's better to give than to receive.
I talk about giving, and I always say it's better to give than not to give, but you got to look in your heart as to what's the motivation in your giving. Because some people give to get their name on a list, some people give to get a pat on the back, but some people give in the pure hope that someone's life might be better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a paradox, because the more you're looking to get back in a gift, it's kind of shallow. But if you're giving a pure heart, you feel good.
If you're giving with expectations, then it's really not giving, is it?
And we talk about volunteering in the book. Volunteering changed my life, and it
Yep.
could change anybody's life.
It's
Volunteering
changed my life.
gives you perspective, because sometimes you see you're volunteering in a place and you realize that a lot of people have it worse than I do.
Mm-hmm.
And
We do a give back.
yes,
The last Wednesday of every month,
Mm-hmm.
we give to a charity. We invite people to come on here. There is no cost to them. They get to talk about whom they are, what they are,
right.
to market and brand, so they can grow and they can make the people that are involved with
how do
their
you
charity
feel when
happy.
you do that, Norman? How do you feel?
Oh, it's wonderful.
See, that's
it's
it.
wonderful.
I go
We
around
look- by the way, you don't know this, and you definitely don't know, vice versa. We already have 3 guests for next year, January, February, and March.
They're already booked.
They're
Yeah.
already booked to come on.
Well, I already have other people that we've had on saying, when can you get me back on? And I'm like, we're already in, halfway into
Because
it.
it works.
When can you get me back?
That's we got a couple of February things, Jim. That's how far we're out. We're February, March
great.
already that
That's
we're
great.
booking. Here's one that I read this when I read the book, and I was like, I definitely got to ask him about this. But the inverse paranoid.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So tell me how you came about coming up with this inverse
I
paranoid.
get almost all of my stuff from reading other people. This comes from Jack Canfield, the guy that
Right.
wrote Chicken Soup books. He also wrote a book called The Success Principles. And one of the chapters is Become an Inverse Paranoid. And again, it's all about our thoughts. See, so many people think the world is against them. And my only luck is bad luck. This is never going to work. So we got to change that. Whenever you notice, we got to be aware of our thoughts. So if we could catch ourselves and turn it around, and all of a sudden, everybody's out to help me. People are out to do me good. People are ready to help me if I ask. So the inverse of everybody's out to get me, everybody's out to help me. It's not easy to do these things. You know,
Yeah.
it's simple, but not easy.
Well, it's always easier said than done. And again, it goes back to what we were talking about before. Is that you got to make these changes. They got to be little by little, small changes, and eventually you can get there. But you got to be consistent in doing it.
That's the work. Yeah,
You know,
that's
and
the
it work. It's work. It's
Yes,
not
it is.
easy.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you for being on. I want everybody to go
This
out
has been a
and
very
buy this
scary hour.
Why?
It was like 5 minutes.
I know,
We
it
just
really
zoomed
was.
through this
It really
thing.
was.
This
we
was nuts.
We flew through this thing, but you know what, Jim? If somebody wants to call you up and say, "I want a case of these books, so I can give them out as stocking stuffers, right, or give them out to the holidays, whatever you work, you celebrate," how can they get a hold of you to do that?
Call me at 1-866 Jim Ryan. That's my latest thing, is to sell books in bulk to financial advisors, insurance agents, people have a dry cleaning business. You give out a gift to say thank you for your business. Give them this book. They'll love you. It'll deepen the relationship. And I give them to you for half price. You buy a case of books, it's half price.
How many are in a case?
48. 48 books. A lot of people have 48
This is a
copies.
nice business gift, too.
Absolutely.
So that's what he's talking about.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Well,
exactly
yeah,
what
we're
he's
talking about the holidays also.
Yeah,
You know, it's there's a lot of reasons why to do this.
Absolutely. And
It would simply make me happy
Yep.
if I could do that.
Give it to your employees. You know, if somebody has an office with 60 people, give them a book. Say thank you. At the Christmas party, give them a book.
How many do you have with you tonight? I know you brought a few
I
with
have
you.
4. I have 4.
Okay.
Yeah. But I got volume. I mean,
Well, I'm going to order from you before you leave here. I'm 6.
Okay.
I want 6 right off the bat.
Okay.
And I'm going to pay for one of those. So.
Okay.
whatever.
Well, I'll give. Well, we can work.
We'll
it out.
work that out.
Yes.
But Jim, thanks for being on.
Where are you going to be? Are you going to be any
Yeah,
place
where are you going to
looking?
be?
Most of the things I do are for private, but I will be doing a retreat in Holy Family Church in Hicksville the weekend after Thanksgiving. I'll be speaking at the masses on Saturday and Sunday after Thanksgiving and giving a 3-night retreat Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. In the beginning, I think it's December 2, 3, and 4. You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be a parishioner of the church. Call the, I get on my email list because I always announce when I'm giving a program that's open to the public. So that's one reason to get on my email list. You get the aha moments, and you'll get an announcement of where I'm going to be. I'm doing a talk at the Manhasset High School. I'm speaking to the English Honor Society in a couple weeks.
That's nice.
Speaking at the Northwell Nurses Health Conference. That's not open to the public. But get on my email list. You'll hear anytime I'm giving a talk that's open to the public, you'll be aware of it.
And your wife wants one of these. You got to bring one of these home for your wife.
There's no question she's
So
getting one.
she
just
she's
said
give
so?
it to me, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
tell her that.
Well, she said give it to me. I'm assuming it's the book.
Yeah, well, if I know my wife, it's the book.
Right, Renee? It's the book, right?
The book. Actually, you could tell her from me that I was bringing one home for her.
Oh, okay. Well, you can tell her. She's watching.
Hey,
So, yeah.
I'm bringing one home for you.
So he's bringing
Be happy.
one home. All right, Jim. So thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And again, go out and get this book. This is a great book.
And thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Yes,
Great
thank you,
guest.
Jim.
Thank you
Great
so
job.
much.
Thank you.
Great job.
So, what do you got coming up, Mr. Music Man?
I signed a new show last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're like rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
with
it's
these
like
things.
it's like crazy.
No
I
pun
don't
intended.
know what happened, but it's nuts. Cool in the Gang and Gloria Stefan.
You're gonna have a good year
April
in 2020.
25th. Yeah, I hope.
So you'll have your Lamborghini, and I'll be going to your mansion,
Chateau.
Dimples. Is that what you're gonna call it?
Yeah, that's what Jeff's place is called. Chateau Dimples. The big sign there. Chateau
There you go.
Dimples.
There you go.
So that's going fine. Headhunting business. If you need to hire anybody, please give me a buzz, because I'm the guy that can help you. 30+ years worth of experience in recruiting. So that's really about it. We got a lot of shows going on. It's all good. TV
Good.
shows doing great.
Excellent.
If folks, if you want to come on and be a guest, just like Jim, this is what we do. It's like you're in our living room. It's really, really quite simple,
And it's a lot of fun.
easy, and it will reward you.
It definitely will. You know what?
The response that you're going to get from being on here.
Not
is
so
great.
much that it will reward you, it rewards us. We really love doing this, and we like helping out.
And again, we thank you. You've helped us grow and grow over the last couple of years, and it's we thank you very much.
I'm coming up on. Hey, next month we got a few weeks, and Jim, what are you getting us for our 1-year anniversary?
What's the 1-year anniversary?
It's the first.
It's being here.
It's the paper.
Making.
So maybe
you give us a check.
I'll give you some paper.
Why don't you buy us a book? Why don't you buy us a book, so we could all be happy.
Coming up on 1 year being on the Village Connection Network,
Right.
you know. So that'll be our first year being here. So we're gonna have a cake and everything. All right, guys. So have a safe week. We will see you Monday night. Monday night we have
a show.
A show. You don't even know who's on. I don't remember either.
So that's it.
But we'll be on at 6:15 Monday night right here on Village Connection Network. Everybody have a safe and happy week.
And a great weekend.
And we'll see you next week.
Celebrate my birthday on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. We're going to have birthday cake on Monday for Norm. All right? So everybody have a great week. Good night, everybody.
See ya. Good night. Thank you.
They're all dead. The lines held up inside my head. I left here like a broken man with no idea of where I stand. Oh, my mind clear. Oh, I shed all my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting here while you moved on. Security, this newfound freedom you kept from me. The sound of all your loaded guns. This heartbreak war has just begun. The sound of all your loaded guns. This broken man has already won. Oh, my mind clear.